In this lesson, we'll begin building our character's mouth. Alright, so in the previous lesson, we wrapped up working on our character's nose. Well, we wrapped up as much as we can without having additional face shadows to deal with. So I went ahead and built a few extra shapes down here around the nose to kind of create those real subtle smile lines here that are formed by the facial muscles underneath the skin here on the lip and right over here to the sides of the nose. So let's go ahead and shift our attention to our character's mouth right now. I'll just jump into outline mode here and we'll take a look at the mouth here. Now, there's a few different ways we could go about building this. We could draw in one shape that is the entire size of the mouth here, or we could maybe take this on a lip-by-lip basis, which is the approach I'm going to go ahead and take. So let's go ahead and grab our pen tool here, and we're going to go ahead and begin drawing this in. Let me go ahead and turn off my smart guides here so they don't get in our way. And we're just going to come in here, and we're going to draw in this lip. Go ahead and grab my direct selection tool and reposition a couple of these. Just keep drawing this in here. Just like so. So really this shape is not much different than many of the other shapes that we've worked with up until now. I'm going to come in and place this anchor point right about here. Let's go ahead and pull that Bezier out some more, because we've got this nice subtle little curve right here I'm trying to pick up on. And I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and wrap this corner underneath where this lip is going to be. Let's go ahead and pull it up right about there. Then we're going to bring it over on down and around here on the inside edge. Just like so. Now it kind of disappears right here into that shadow, so I'm going to kind of take a guess as to where that lip goes. We're going to go and pull it in right about there. And let's go ahead and break that Bezier free, and we'll come around just like so. And then close that path off. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tweak this anchor point just a little bit here by pulling out those Bezier handles just one more time so we can create that corner of the lip. And that looks pretty good. So we've got our first lip drawn here. I'm going to go ahead and let's just go ahead and color that kind of a pink color for right now. I know we can't see that because we're in outline mode, but let's go ahead and hide this by selecting it, hitting Control 3, because now we're going to go ahead and draw the upper lip. So let's come in here and pick a side to start on. Let's go ahead and pick maybe right over here. And we're just going to kind of follow this up. Now, depending on how stylized you wanted to go with this lip, you could actually come in here and maybe make these a little bit sharper edges. So I'm actually going to leave those a little bit more on the realistic side. We're going to round those off a little bit. Let's go ahead and just pull that in right about there. Another one up. And right about there. And we'll go ahead and come down over here. Just like so. And we'll go ahead and wrap this around. We may need to tweak those corner Bezier handles just a little bit so we can get those corners a little bit more accurate. But overall, I think we're looking pretty good so far. And we'll come on and around. Just like so. And we'll close that off. So we've got both of our lips drawn here. Let me go ahead and just kind of work these anchor points a little bit around the sides, making sure we get exactly the shape we're looking for here. And let's go ahead and we'll just color this pink as well. And let's jump out of outline mode here. And we'll Control Alt 3 to bring our first shape back. Let's go ahead and bring this upper lip to the forefront here by hitting Control, Shift, and closed bracket. So now we've got both of our lip shapes here. But, if we take a look here, we've got a little bit of a problem right around in this area here. Let's go ahead and let's fix that really quick. Let's come in over here. And we'll just pull this Bezier handle in just a little bit. Pull that anchor point down some. And we may just turn on our smart guide so we can snap that to the path there. So that covers nice and smooth there. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So now we've got both of our lip shapes here to work with, and now if we look at the photograph though, we've got this area inside where we can just barely see her teeth and kind of this shadowed area inside her mouth. Her mouth is open just a little bit, so how can we go about creating that? Well, let me go ahead and show you how I would quickly do that here. I'm going to go ahead and select both of these two shapes. Let's go ahead and copy those with a Control-C. Then we'll go ahead and hide them here. Control-3 to hide them. I'm going to hit Control-F to paste in a copy of those, and let's go ahead and unite those two here. So we've united those two shapes. They're now one shape here with a hole punched in it where her mouth is. So I'm going to come in at this point, and let's go ahead and go to Object, Compound Path, and we're going to choose Release. And what that's going to do is it's going to release this hole that was punched into it here. And now we can come in, delete the larger shape behind, and what we're left with is a shape that's going to fit precisely into that negative area between those two shapes. So we'll go ahead and let's just color this a little different color here. Let's go ahead and grab our color panel, darken that up some. And we'll Control-Alt-3 to bring our shapes back. And you can see here we've got all three shapes. Now, before we begin doing coloration and creation of shadows and highlights on the lips here, let's go ahead and jump back into outline mode here. And let's go ahead and create the shapes for the teeth here, because we do want to still see those. Let's go ahead and hide what we've got here. We'll Control-3. And let's grab our pen tool. And we'll just turn off smart guides for right now. And I'm just going to come in here and kind of quickly draw in these teeth shapes. Now these don't have to be precise, but we're going to get those as close as we can here. And we'll just pull this one in and around. And I'm just going to kind of terminate these up above, kind of what's going to be behind that upper lip. So we'll come down and do this other tooth here. And bring that around. Just like so. And close that path off. And we'll go ahead and hit these other two teeth here. So again, what we're doing here is just basically identifying all these major shapes that are coming into play when we're creating this illustration. So, you know, it's basically dissecting this down into its basic core pieces here, basic shapes. So that's essentially what we're doing with the pen tool here, as with the pencil tool, and you know, even the blob brush when we were creating the hair, is we're creating shapes. Alright, great. So we've got all four of our teeth kind of roughed out here. I may come in and just kind of tweak these just a little bit here, just so she doesn't have quite the gap between her front two teeth. Bring those a little closer together here. Just like so. And may actually even come in and move these side teeth in just a little closer as well. There we go. That looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and jump out of outline mode at this point. Let's Control-Alt-3 to bring back our shapes. And let's go ahead and begin coloring these teeth here. Now, I want to go ahead and by default color them white, just so we can actually see them against kind of what we're doing here. And let's go ahead and bring this upper lip to the front. Again, Control-Shift, close bracket. And I'm going to select this very backmost shape, and let's just color that black for right now. Alright, great. Now at this point, let's go ahead and grab each of those four teeth. We're going to apply a linear gradient to these. So we'll come over here and apply linear gradient. And let's go ahead and, let's see here, we're going to go ahead and drag this white swatch color stop to the center. And let's go ahead and make a copy of that black one real quick here. And let's go ahead and let's adjust the colors here. Let's go ahead and double click on that. We'll shift click on that color bar at the bottom until we get to our HSB color space. And we're going to go for kind of a muddy yellow color here. Yeah, something a little bit lighter than that. That looks pretty good here. So we'll go ahead and make a copy of that color stop, drag the black one off, and replace it there. So we've got basically kind of the shadows mapped out here. Now, I don't want those shadows to wrap so far around. We want the front face of these teeth to be a little flatter. So let's adjust those midpoints here. And let's come in here, and now nobody's got perfectly white teeth, so we'll go ahead and add just a little bit of a yellow tinge to those. Sort of like that. Maybe not quite that cool. Alright, so that looks alright. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and kind of take a look at that. Now those look pretty large, and we need to actually push those back some. Now I may actually come in and play with the positioning and even the shape of those teeth in between lessons, but let's go ahead and grab this shape that's behind. We'll copy that and then Control F to paste it in place. And let's go ahead and bring that to the front here. Alright, great. So we're going to apply a radial gradient here. And let's go ahead and pull one of these color stops off. And we'll go ahead and let's drop the opacity of this color stop just a little bit. Sort of like that. And I tell you what, we may even come in here and let's go ahead and apply a little more of a skin color to that. We'll come in and adjust the darkness on this one. Let's go ahead and pull that shadow all the way down here. Something like that. And then we'll grab our gradient tool here, and let's go ahead and adjust this gradient just a little bit. Let's go ahead and maybe pull that out some and flatten it some. Alright, so we've kind of pushed those teeth back a little bit into shadow, really kind of hiding them underneath the lips. Now, at this point, we're ready to go ahead and begin coloring the lips, applying shadows and highlights. So I tell you what, in the next lesson, let's go ahead and pick up where we're leaving off here, and we'll continue working on our character's mouth.